Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is the Bearded Ranger, and today we're going to be talking about Crimson Desert. I know that this game has had a lot of hype, and since launch, a lot of people have been saying a lot of things about it. But to me, this is the most concerning part of the game. Um, so, we have a report from IGN saying Crimson Desert players think they found AI generated art in game. We're just going to go through this. Crimson Desert just launched yesterday to a bit of chaotic and mixed reception from critics. That hasn't hampered its sales, but those 2 million players are starting to stumble into some concerning issues in their first day in Pywell, including the presence of what some are saying may be AI generated art assets. A number of threads have popped up around social media of players questioning the human authenticity of certain art assets, specifically signs and paintings around the game. There's this painting of two swordsmen with a lot of odd angles. Yeah, pretty simple to me. There are these odd looking gentlemen with funky fingers. Oh, that's. Look at that. Yeah. And while all of the above, I could see there being an argument for just some funky proportions, the piece that really seems like solid evidence of generative AI is this painting of various men and horses. Just start looking at the horse's legs and keep going. What is going on here? Yeah, that's terrible. Guys, this is why AI is terrible for games. Our own writer, Brendan Graber, stepped in and found us some more examples of that are just off in ways that don't really make sense for a human to have done. Yeah, that's not good. The world. Yeah, there's some truly awful use of generative AI to create assets, particularly final published ones, has been a hot button issue in games over the last year. Multiple companies have been under the magnifying glass, both for confirming they did use it or even seeming to use it. Nintendo had to deny accusations of generative AI use in Mario Kart World. I didn't know that. For various billboards. Activision has experienced an ongoing outcry for generative AI assets found in Call of Duty. Not surprising. As has EA for Battlefield. Again, not surprising. Larian Studios went through a whole round of public backlash late last year when it was revealed in an interview that its upcoming game Divinity was using generative AI behind the scenes for things like concept art and placeholder text. That one bummed me out. I love Baldur's Gate 3 so much, and it killed me. Claire Obscure Expedition 33 was stripped of an Indie Game of the Year award last year when it was revealed that generative AI assets inadvertently made it into the final release build of the game. None of these controversies appear to have impacted sales of these games, but they've certainly turned segments of the public perception against them. I've got to be honest with you. I've put in almost 20 hours in Crimson Desert. I'm making a review, tips and tricks and stuff, and this like seeing this kills me. It just it stinks. It stinks. If this is generative AI art, however, this would put Pearl Abyss in violation of Steam's AI content policy, which requires generative AI use to be disclosed on the game's store page. Crimson Desert's page has no such disclosure at this time. This at the time that this piece was written. We've reached out to developer Pearl Abyss and have asked them to confirm or deny whether generative AI use was used on finished assets in Crimson Desert. Sorry, guys, I'm dyslexic, so sometimes reading is hard. The studio already garnered positive press just last month when marketing director Will Powers confirmed that all the game's main and quest NPCs were voiced by human actors, not generative AI, including including in multiple languages. So for me, this is a huge bummer. in a lot of ways. And um, it this just really bums me out to see. Um, but we have a reply from them that I haven't read yet, uh, and we'll see if they confirm or deny. Crimson Desert on X or Twitter, whatever you'd like to call it. We would like to address questions regarding the use of AI in Crimson Desert. Huh. During development, some 2D visual props were created as part of early stage iteration using experimental AI generative tools. These assets helped us rapidly explore tone and atmosphere in the earlier phases of production. However, our intention has always been for any such assets to be replaced, following final work and review by our art and development teams, with work that aligns with our quality standards and creative direction. Following reports from our community, we have identified that some of these assets were unintentionally included in the final release. This is not in line with our internal standards, and we take full responsibility for it. We also acknowledge that we should have clearly disclosed our use of AI. While these tools were primarily used during early production, with the expectation that these assets would be replaced prior to release, we recognize that this does not excuse the lack of transparency. We sincerely apologize for these oversights. We are currently conducting a comprehensive audit of all in-game assets and are taking steps to replace any affected content. Updated assets will be rolled out in upcoming patches. In parallel, we are reviewing and strengthening our internal process to ensure greater transparency and consistency in how we communicate with players moving forward. And I've got to tell you, I appreciate the prompt reply. Um, I do. They could have ignored this. They could have swept it under the rug. They could have said nothing and just let people consider what it was, right? To hypothesize, to put their tinfoil hats on. And instead, they admitted their issue and they're saying they're going to address it. So props to them for that. However, Pearl Abyss is a corporation. They're a Korean corporation, but they're still a corporation. And for me, I just have a hard time believing a company that is for profit saying that they didn't mean to put generative AI out, in that it was in so many places. And that's just what people have discovered thus far. So there's going to be a lot of endgame content that is probably generative AI and might be patched before anyone gets to it because this game is so big. But that's troublesome. And I think that this really brings the broader point when we consider what AI is, what it's going to be, and what do we consider okay. Where do we draw the line as users? Where do we draw the line? It's important to consider. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I know I'm still trying to figure out how I feel about this game moving forward. And if you found this video informative and appreciated it, please give a like and subscribe and have a great day.